Hey guys, welcome to today's video. If you are not subscribed, I'd love to have you guys subscribe. Today we are talking about how I keep my house so clean throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. So just to start off, yes, we still have our Christmas tree here. It doesn't have any lights or ornaments. We're getting ready to take it down. And Jane is playing right here. Jane, wave. She is playing there, so hopefully she won't be too loud for you guys. So a lot of you guys have asked me in the comments, whether it's on our daily vlogs or if it was on like a cleaning video, how do I keep my house so clean looking when I have 3 kids? If you guys are new to my channel, I have a 4-year-old girl, a 1.5-year-old boy, and a 6-month-old girl. And so we have a lot of toys and a lot of things around. But I do have a few tricks up my sleeve. I actually do want to comment on something. When I vlog, and you might see like a clean room behind me, just because that one room is clean doesn't mean the rest of my house is spotless. A lot of the time, actually 99% of the time, there is at least one messy room in my house. And when I say messy, it's probably toys or just stuff everywhere. The kitchen's dirty. One of the main reasons why I haven't even filmed an updated house tour is because my house is always dirty somewhere or messy somewhere. So when I do a house tour, I would like to at least have it put together for you guys to see a clean house. But anyways, that's off the subject. I do have a few tricks up my sleeve on how to keep your house looking clean during the day and easier to pick up and easier to clean as well. So let's just get started. So the first tip I have, this is kind of for people with kids. If you don't have kids and you don't have a bunch of toys, you can kind of cater my tips to your lifestyle as well. But the first one is to only let your kids play with one toy at a time. This might sound really harsh, this might sound crazy, and I'm actually gonna say try to have your kids play with one toy at a time. Honestly, it's very hard and we don't always do that, but when they're down here in the living room, they know it's one toy at a time. A lot of times if they get carried away, they grab all the toys, they take them all out. I'll come in and intervene and say, okay, what toy are we playing with, guys? Let's pick up everything else so that we can play with this one toy. And then that way it's a lot easier to clean up. It's a lot easier for your kids to clean up. You know, if there's a huge mess all over the place, it's gonna be very overwhelming for the kids to know where the things go. And it's also gonna be overwhelming for you to wanna pick it up. So we try to enforce that. They do have a playroom upstairs that I don't enforce it too much. We do clean up every day, which is another tip I have in a second. But if they're up there and we don't have guests over or anything, I usually don't care if they're playing with more than one toy at a time. We try to, and you should too, have that as like a general rule for your kids. So on the subject of only playing with one toy at a time, my next tip is to have some of your toys put away out of reach of your children so they actually have to ask you to play with them. For us, with my oldest being only 4, all of our Play-Doh, all of our paints, markers, crayons, all of that is put away, all out of reach of the children. So the main reason is so they don't make a mess without me being around, and so they have to ask to play with it, and if I bring it out, I can play with them. But the other reason is just that it's easier for me to have a control on one toy at a time, and they can ask to play that, and I'll say, yeah, we can play Play-Doh, let's clean up everything else you were doing first, and we kind of do that. I know actually 3 or 4 moms that also have like a coat closet or like a towel closet, you know, like little skinny closets dedicated to toys, which I wish I had the space for that. But what they do, especially with like board games or games with little tiny pieces, if there's younger kids around, or just all of their toys in general, go in the closet, and that child it's kind of like a library system. They take one toy out, they can't go back into the closet until they pick up that toy and put that toy back in the closet. So there is an idea for you as well if you have the space for that and can enforce that. The third tip I have to keep your house tidy and clean is to have 1 or 2 dedicated times for a quick cleanup. I'm doing this because sometimes it's not quick, but depending on how your day goes or your schedule goes, you can do this at any certain time. But for me, my kids still nap and Jane has a quiet time. So at that time, like right before that time, we pick everything up. If we're in a rush, I'll just go ahead and put the kids to bed. Jane has quiet time and I'll personally clean it up. But that is like a restart for the day. So we wake up in the morning, everything's clean, the kids play. Hopefully they're playing with one toy at a time. Hopefully they're cleaning up as they go, or they're making like a huge disaster. But right after lunch, right before they have their quiet time, we clean everything up and the house looks great. And that way, when they wake back up from their nap and they start making a mess and everything again, and they're going crazy, everything is kind of starting brand new and it's not like a double mess from the morning and the afternoon. Also, this helps a lot because if we're going somewhere in the afternoon after they wake up from their nap, we're headed out of the house, we're coming back, it's time to take a bath and go to bed. The house is already clean because we cleaned it up for a quiet time. So if your kids don't take a nap anymore and you're like, when would I ever do that? You can maybe do something right before they go to school or right after they come home from school. You can have certain times where you have like a certain cleanup reset time. The fourth tip I have is to stick to a cleaning schedule. You guys know me well. I have a cleaning schedule. I've shared it with you many times, and that honestly helps me to keep my house tidy and clean. If I didn't have a schedule, I would totally forget when was the last time I cleaned the bathroom, when was the last time I vacuumed the floors, when was the last time I dusted. And so this is more of like cleaning instead of tidying. But if you're sticking to your schedule, then most likely your house will look put together. And if you have unexpected guests coming over, it won't take hours upon hours to clean your home, and you can just like do a few things here and there and you're ready for them to come. The last tip I have for the day, I've shared before in a different cleanings tips, but it is to always clean your house before you go to bed. My whole entire kitchen is always clean before I go to bed. There's no dishes in the sink or anything like that. All of the kids' toys are put away, even in the playroom, everything is put away. Everything has a spot, which is another tip that I always share with you guys. So it's easy for my kids to clean up. They know where everything goes. And so at nighttime, again, if we're in a rush, I'll just go ahead and put the kids to bed and then I'll clean it up because they're still pretty young. But as they get older and starting now some, I'll have them help me clean up all of their toys before bed. And then definitely before I go to bed, the whole entire house is put together. My room is put together. All of the kids' rooms are put together before they get put to bed. All the bathrooms are put together. The kitchen is clean and the living room is clean. Everything is clean and everything is in its spot. It might sound like a lot, but if you're following all of the other tips that I just explained, it's really not a lot. There's really not much to clean up, but you just want to make sure your house is tidy and ready for you to go to bed. So when you wake up the next morning, your house is nice and clean, ready to go for a new day. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed these 5 tips. I hope that if you follow these, it can help you stay with a cleaner home as well. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. You can share it for me if you like to. And don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you guys in my next video.